Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking what is honestly a fascinating juxtaposition. We're going to look at how a highly specific ground-level infrastructure tender in South Africa actually connects to massive, multi-billion-dollar economic shifts happening all over the globe at this exact same time. We've got a lot of really profitable ground to cover today, so let's just dive right in.
So how exactly do you build a more competitive industrial space? It's the fundamental question driving a massive new government procurement notice in South Africa right now. It sounds like a pretty simple question, right? But the answer requires deep structural modernization. How do you actually get industrial parks, logistics corridors, and municipal zones to perform better, attract real money, and truly compete on a global scale?
Here is our roadmap to help connect these dots today. 1. South Africa's industrial push. 2. The DBSA tender demystified. 3. Who should apply? 4. Africa's space tech boom. And 5. Global market shifts. Starting off with Section 1, South Africa's industrial push.
Right now, South Africa is making a massive, long-term strategic push to optimize its municipal economic development. Basically, they want to unlock real, tangible investment into their regional manufacturing ecosystems. But here is the catch. To actually improve that infrastructure-linked economic productivity, the government institutions driving this change absolutely need highly specialized professional expertise. They literally need a blueprint for success. Which brings us to Section 2. The DBSA tender demystified. The really crucial point here is understanding the exact assignment. They are looking for a professional service provider to build what's called a performance-based incentive framework for municipal industrial infrastructure. This isn't just your generic everyday consulting gig. You would literally be designing the economic engine for massive industrial spaces. The chosen provider will design the exact mechanisms that make South Africa's industrial zones more operationally effective and highly competitive for international investors. It's really all about designing a system that rewards actual performance and accelerates maturity. And look, if you want in on this, the clock is ticking rapidly. Following a compulsory virtual briefing that happened on Microsoft Teams on May 21st, there is a very strict electronic submission deadline through DBSA channels. It's just before midnight, 23:55 to be exact, on June 5th, 2026. So this is a fast-moving, real money opportunity where execution is already well underway. Moving on to Section 3, who should apply? If you are an urban development consultant, a data analytics firm, or really any of the specialists listed here, spanning public finance to smart cities, this tender is your direct gateway into executing national industrial policy. This contract presents incredible, exclusive access to long-term urban economic planning and infrastructure reform. It's just a prime opportunity to plug directly into a nationally strategic program. All right, Section 4, Africa's space tech boom. Now, when we usually think of African industrial infrastructure, we tend to think of the terrestrial municipalities we were just talking about. But surprisingly, the region is also looking straight up. We just saw the opening of the continent's largest space hardware factory in Somerset West, commissioned by New Space Systems. It perfectly highlights just how incredibly diverse and advanced the manufacturing ecosystem in the region is actually becoming. And this really proves that African infrastructure isn't just terrestrial anymore. Local industrial expansion is directly feeding the global tech supply chain. They're providing critical hardware for Eutelsat OneWeb's massive Airbus-built satellite fleet. So think about this. On the exact same day you have a push to optimize local municipal logistics, regional manufacturers are out there actively participating in the global low Earth orbit economy. It is just a wildly dynamic industrial landscape. Let's zoom out a bit for Section 5, global market shifts. First up is India, where the central bank just announced a massive $5 billion currency swap. $5 billion. I mean, that is a colossal number, and it tells us a whole lot about the current state of global financial pressure. So why the sudden intervention? Well, the Indian rupee just slid to a record low against the US dollar, essentially forcing the central bank's hand. When you see a massive $5 billion maneuver like this, it acts as a giant warning light flashing about the intense liquidity squeeze facing emerging markets globally right now. But India's also playing powerful offense on the trade front. They've just set a year-end deadline to activate a free trade zone with the European Union that covers 2 billion people. 2 billion people! Just to put that into perspective, that is roughly a quarter of the entire global population entering into a single unified trade agreement. These negotiations are actively reshaping global investment alignments as we speak.
And that's further reinforced by Sweden's recent commitment to double bilateral trade during Prime Minister Modi's European tour. From the broader EU free trade zone deadline to these highly targeted bilateral agreements, the flow of global capital and goods is literally shifting beneath our feet right now.
Finally, let's look at how capital is reshaping our physical world on a micro level. Big Idea Ventures is deploying $1 million total across 5 specific food tech startups. That's $200,000 per startup. They're targeting ingredient and supply chain technologies to commercialize tech that could rebuild the global food system from the molecule up. Let's just hope it still tastes like a real burger, right? It's an amazing look at exactly where highly targeted early-stage capital is flowing to solve fundamental worldwide supply challenges.
And this brings us to a crucial final thought to leave you with today. As real money opportunities emerge simultaneously, from local municipal infrastructure in South Africa all the way up to billion-dollar currency swaps and molecular food tech, where exactly does your firm fit into this rapidly changing landscape? Are you tracking the local RFPs? Are you watching the global macro markets? The opportunities out there are vast, but they require you to be actively paying attention. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope this helps you spot those vital connections in our fast-moving global economy.